Ho, ho, ho! Welcome back this year. This is Santa for Ask Santa About Christmas Cocktails. I'm borrowing Alan's studios again to do some Christmas cocktails that you all can try Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, or throughout the Christmas season. Stay with me as we go over these wonderful Christmas time cocktails. Ho, ho, ho! I asked Alan again this year if he'd let me borrow his studio to make some cocktails for all of you so you can try these when you get together with family and friends over the Christmas holidays. He, of course, said yes. He couldn't say no, not if he wanted anything for Christmas. But we decided to go ahead and do a couple cocktails for you. This is going to be the first episode, and I'll do one more episode that I think Alan's going to put out there the day before Christmas. So you have time to get the ingredients or whatever, just in case you want those for Christmas Eve. So the first one is kind of one that I like a little bit. It's called Bad Santa Bourbon Bomb. There are days when Santa really needs a bourbon. These are all done in the final glass. So we are going to do the bourbon, which we're doing 2 ounces of that, the bourbon. And this is one that Alan had around. It was a Pursuit United double oaked, I believe. Yes, it's a double oaked that he picked up from a group that he's in. Two ounces of that. 1 ounce of coffee liqueur. Now, whatever kind of coffee liqueur you happen to have, you can use. Kahlua might be the one that you want to use because it's a little more creamy. Kahlua and Tia Maria both have about 16.275 grams is what Alan's written down here of carbs in 1 ounce. That's quite a bit. This Kamora is one that's more coffee forward, and it only has 11 grams. So that's what we're going to use because Alan wants me to try to do lower carbs. And then it's only 3 ounces of cola. And of course, we're using a diet cola or a zero sugar. And then there are cherries around here someplace. They're all the way in the front. These Peninsula Premiums are very good cherries. There are 4 carbs per cherry for these. If you use a Maraschino cherry, then you're going to go down to 2.1 carbs per cherry. We'll grab one of those and drop it in the bottom. Put a little bit of ice in there. We might as well be fancy. We'll use, I need to get Alan something to store his large ice in so it doesn't get all frosted. But we'll just drop a large ice cube in there. So that is the Bad Santa Bourbon Bomb. That's very good. Gives you that coffee taste, a little cola taste, and of course the bourbon. So that's the first one. And we will move on to the next one as soon as I move this out of the way and get things set up for it. So next, we're going to do a cocktail called Frostbite. This is a tequila drink. And tequila that Alan said I should use is this Tequila Ocho. So we'll use that. And we're doing this in a shaker. One and a half ounce of Blanco tequila. Then we get into some things that have a little bit of carbs. This white chocolate, unfortunately, is a brand you can't buy anymore. But this is also a brand called Mozart, which has a lot more carbs. But this Godiva, which unfortunately they don't make anymore, is only 0.75 grams. So if you have some of this, good for you. You're going to make it with lower carbs. Otherwise, you have to find one of the other chocolate liqueurs and have higher carbs. But you got to do what you got to do. So with that, it was 0.75. And then creme de menthe, only a quarter ounce, which still gives you 3.5 grams of carbs. Then we use an ounce of cream. Then we have a half ounce of lime juice. Then we shake this up vigorously. Now, they want you to pour this into a champagne glass, but Alan's not that fancy, so he's got these glasses instead. So you might double that up if you're going to make it in a larger glass like this. But we top that with whipped cream. And that whipped cream makes a little bit of a mess, but the other thing is a crushed candy cane on top, but we don't want to add the additional candy cane carbs. But you can take a candy cane and crush that up and sprinkle it on top, and that will make a really nice drink. So that's it for that drink. And Santa just dripped all over myself. But that's the frostbite. So we'll move on to the next one as soon as we clean up a little bit. So now let's try a cranberry bramble. This one does not have as too bad of carbs, but if you use the cranberry sauce, then you'll get 13.5 carbs from that. If you use diet cranberry juice, you'll only get a quarter carb. I want to taste the cranberries, so we'll do that. So, this is made with gin. 1.5 ounce. Then 1 ounce of cranberry sauce. We will try to estimate that with trying to get about 1 ounce volume. Then we have 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. And 1/2 of an ounce of orange juice. Alan forgot to write the carbs down for the orange juice, but this orange juice is a light orange juice, and it has only 11 grams for 8 ounces. So 1/2 an ounce is going to be less than a gram. We'll have to do the math and put it on up here in the information that pops up. And I'm then strain this in. With ice. And garnish with a sprig of rosemary. And that is the cranberry bramble. Quite nice. So, we're going to move on to the next drink in just one moment. And the final drink for this episode is the Berry White Christmas. This is from Eric Hobby of Camden Cocktails Lounge. I'll have to make sure we give Eric something extra in the stocking for providing such a good drink for this episode. So this takes spiced rum, two ounces, two bar spoons of cranberry preserves. Rather than preserves, we'll go again with the cranberry sauce. And 2 bar spoons is going to be about the same amount as the other drink, which makes about 1 ounce. 1 ounce of lime juice, and ½ ounce of vanilla orgeat. This is orgeat that Alan makes. I don't remember if he made he's spoken of this before, I know, but this is something that he makes it without adding real sugars. So what he comes up with for a ½ ounce of this is still 2.4 grams of carbs, but that's lower than what you would find in other things. And he just made another batch of this recently, so this is fresh. We shake with ice. And this is strained in a cocktail glass with mint and powdered sugar, and they say dried pineapple. We do have some pineapple here, so rather than dried pineapple, we'll do a skewer with some cranberries. And I'm going to dump the ice in there because there are some cranberries in it. And that's a nice looking drink. That's the Berry White Christmas. And it tastes very good. So that's it for this episode. I will come back and record one more for just a couple days before Christmas. And Alan said he'll put it out just before Christmas so people have time to check for ingredients and make sure you all have what you need for your get-togethers. But these 4 were all very good, and I think that you'll enjoy them. So Alan wants me to remind you to like and subscribe and comment and share this with your friends. Do all those great things, and Santa's going to know whether you are. So if you want something for Christmas, you better be behaving and taking care of boosting this channel up, because a lot of people can use this information. So definitely provide that, likes and subscribes and comments and shares, and definitely come back next week. I'll know if you did. We're going to have another great episode. And have a great time over Christmas, and keep being good, or you won't be seeing me. Bye for now. See you next week.